Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video. You join me just outside my Mark 7 Golf R to talk a little bit around the Mark 8 Golf R and some sort of images that I've seen that have come out recently of just basically the car in sort of standard guise. A lot of my subscribers kind of asked about that, so I thought I'd go through it, share it through with you, go through some of the images, see what you think. Can it live up to the Mark 7? We'll have to see. And yeah, let's get straight into this one, and join me back here again for a little bit of a conclusion. So let's go through the first image. As you can see here, the standard Mark 8 Golf R at a dealer showroom. This is in Lapis Blue. Yeah, completely standard basically. The only options on this car is actually dynamic chassis control, I believe. And yeah, there you go. I think just to give the this was just off Auto Trader and just off a dealer forecourt. Now you might see sort of like a little purpley glint in the paintwork. Now, when I picked up my brand new Fiesta ST in Spirit Blue, the Mark 7, it looked purple. So I'm going to let them off that they haven't photoshopped this. But as I go on, you'll see a car that doesn't look as purple as this one. But yeah, there's the image of the front. I've got a few images to go through, so I'm not going to waste your time and keep talking about the same image. But there you go. There's the front end. Next image is sort of the rear quarter. Now, as I've said before in previous videos, the rear quarter of the car is probably my best look of most cars, to be honest. And my Golf R, I think it's the best one, the Mark 7. This, not quite so sure. You know, I know the performance pack gives you that bigger wing, as you'll see on the Club Sport as well. And because of that, I mean, it's almost double the size of what you get from stock. Yeah, this is very much the very subtle, don't look at me too much approach. And yeah, there you go. I think, each their own in terms of what they think of this as a standard spec. And this is why I wanted to show it to you lot, really. That's the main thing. I don't think we've seen anything standard, because when VW do their showings of cars, it's obviously going to be top spec, everything option on it. You know, this hasn't got a graphics, this hasn't got anything really. So it's good to see. There's a side-on view as well of the car. Brakes. The front brakes look huge. They really do fill up those wheels. So yeah. It looks quite cool from that side. Again, you get the side skirts as standard. You can see how the rear bumper kind of sticks out. That's all safety kind of thing. Just that distance and obviously crash protection. So many rules these days, I kind of lose track. But yeah, as we move on as well, there's the bang-on rear view of the car. No Akrapovic. You get to see a little bit of a diffuser. Not too sure if it does anything, but I do like the gloss black effect, as I do like on the Mark 7 as well. But yeah, there you go. And as a bit of an Easter egg, if you stay waiting and watching this video, I'll show you a little thing with the rear lights, which actually a subscriber sent me, which I'll come to a little bit later. But yeah, as we go on, there's the full front end. That's what obviously people like to see. I like how it doesn't have like a massive grille like you get on BMWs or Mercedes these days. It's obviously got a big sort of like almost like a guppy lower grille, which takes up the whole bottom, which looks quite cool. And the front looks very sleek, and I like the blue line as well in between it, which you can still see in this blue paintwork. Yeah, I think it looks quite nice. It looks a lot sharper than perhaps the Mark 7. Moving on, a lot of people have asked about the seats. Now, these are the standard cloth seats that you get. I'm a much bigger fan of cloth. I think leather has its issues, particularly in the summer months, and to be fair, even in the winter months, I've always found it difficult to maintain. So I've always been quite happy with either like partial leather or cloth. You know, I'm not too fussed. I know it's perceived as a cheapy option. I disagree, and I think those seats look good. They look quite supportive. They don't look too different actually in the sort of the side bolstering as the previous one, but I think shoulder bolstering looks a little bit more improved if your shoulders get that high, which I imagine they would. And you get sort of like a blue back trim at the back sort of headrest, which I didn't notice before. And I think it's nice that you have something that livens up the interior a little bit. I think previous Volkswagen Golf R, other than the flashes of blue light every now and then, was pretty plain. So they're trying to do a little bit, but without doing too much and going over the top. And I quite like that, like the R logo in blue. There's the interior. Well, yeah, there's the front. You've got the small little automatic gearbox. Paddles proper sized. I don't know what they feel like if they're very plasticky, but I know a lot of owners from forums from the Mark 7, that was their biggest gripe. They'd always upgrade the paddles, and I can understand why. You know, a cheapy plastic thing which you can barely fill at the back isn't so great on your nice car. So it'd be interesting to know if these are plastic. I imagine they are, because it's just saving costs. But they're certainly at least bigger. which is always nice when you kind of trying to push on a little bit. Standard Mark 8 infotainment as well. I won't go on too much about that. Rear of the car, if you're interested in that, seats look quite cool. Cup holders and through load system for like skiing, ski hatch. Get that on the Mark 7 anyway, so no real big improvements there. Gear stick, people have said it's quite small. Yes, it is quite small, but that's obviously because to protect the VW group in terms of higher models like the Touareg, the Tiguan, the Arteon, maybe even the T-Roc actually, I'm not too sure, have a bigger DSG sort of gear stick, and this one's a little bit more smaller, but it saves a little bit of space. It's got that weird thing on the left. I don't know what you can store there. That just looks a little bit of design for design's sake, really. Probably it's got wireless charging as well if you want to opt for that. And this one, actually, I lie, this has got dynamic chassis control and a panoramic roof. So that's the only two options, and I believe this car's listed at about just under 42,000, but delivery available in January. And I know a lot of owners have said they're not getting them for months, if not even like later into the autumn, due to obviously the issues we're experiencing at the moment. But yeah, that you just have to wait, or you pay your money and you get one like this straight away. Moving on, so again, you've got those paddles, you can see them a little bit better. I think they look cool. It's good to see the little dials and how it's going to kind of look in the R mode. And there's the front of the car, and this is actually a different car I've come to now because I wanted to show it not looking as purple, and this one doesn't. Out there in the sun, let me know what you think in the comments of these as I kind of scroll through them here. Yeah, I mean, it's quite nice. The sun's on it. Do I think it pops as much as, say, like a Mark III Focus RS with that nitrous blue? No, but then I think that dark blue sort of colour of it. I know it's got blue calipers which do stand out, but it's not designed to be a showy. If you want a really showy car, you probably got to get a different car. There's a side-on view. Yeah, with that sun, I just always think of swirl marks. That's what always worries me, and why I like my limestone grey, because it just hides any imperfections. You might have issues with this unless you really look after the paintwork. Moving on, the rear quarter, as I said before, I personally think it's one of the best looks of the car. Looking more at those rear lights, I'm not so sure. I just love the lights on the Mark 7, and that looks a little bit, I don't know. Does it look out of place? Maybe it's the whole 5-door shape thing, but it's not doing it for me on that picture. There's the interior, and could say it's a little bit plain, but as I said, if you look further back at the seats, it's a little bit more blue. I mean, blue cross hatchings. I mean, it looks like it's got a blue Go Faster stripe there. So yeah, really trying hard to justify the high price of this car. And there's the front end, which notoriously will be, quite close behind other cars in no time at all, because it is a quick car, 320 horsepower. It's going to shift, isn't it? Shame how the number plate probably is going to ruin the lines, but that's just what we have to deal with. And something I wanted to say to you lot actually as well, and as you can see in this picture here, it's a Golf 8R with obviously a few more options than the one that I've just shown in standard spec. This is the Akrapovic exhaust. But take a look at the lights. Now they're clear lens lights, and as I'll show briefly here as well, this is actually an option that you can choose in sort of like the accessories for the Golf R. Now this was sent to me by the same subscriber who gave me the heads up on the images around the car in Switzerland. Now I've checked the UK configurator and I can't see this as an option, but it's still it certainly looks it in black. It looks very stealthed out with those clear lenses. I believe it's staying with the reflectors as well. It reminds me of a car that I recently actually saw today, a Porsche GT3. I think it was like a 2014 car, GT3. And they have those sort of clear lenses at the back of the lights. It reminds me like that. I think it looks quite cool. It looks a bit different. And as I just said briefly, I thought the rear lights weren't massively anything to shout about compared to, say, like, I think to the left of that is a Golf 8. Does it look that much different? That looks proper mean. And really, really cool. So yeah, I wanted to kind of add that in to the end of showing all the standard basic images of the car, and to show you a little bit maybe of something that you'd be interested in if it's available in your region. But yeah, certainly something I didn't know about, and yeah, good information there from a subscriber of mine, so thanks very much for that. So yes, I hope you enjoyed me running through that. Quite interesting to actually see. It's interesting to see one that's not sort of like massively specced up you know, that's not necessarily the car that everyone will kind of go for. A base car is quite interesting to see what it's like in real life, not from interesting VW videos where it's all cinematic and it's all perfect. This is what it's like on a dealer forecourt, basically. But yeah, still outside my Mark 7 Golf R, absolutely love it. I think, you know, I'll still always do content on the Mark 7, frankly, because I have no intention of kind of getting rid of this car. And I think that 3-door shape, it's quite unique. Manual gearbox, load of fun. I just love it. But let me know what you think about those images. Let me know if it's a car that you'd consider, or if you'd want to go for a higher spec car, like I did a video on that previously from a subscriber in Switzerland, showed me that. So that was really cool. But yeah, certainly let me know your thoughts in the comments on those ones. For me, I'm pretty happy with what I've got behind me. But I'm interested to see one on the road, see one in person, and yeah, hopefully when things settle down, actually try one out and share my feedback with you on that. But listen, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for supporting the channel, and yeah, on this beautiful day, I will see you again next time. Cheers guys.